8.
So we'll go with that. 9.
What about me?
Who?
10.
Oh, 10. Okay. 10 is magic number. All right, ready to go.
You mentioned a sustainable future. To me, that includes a sustainable population, which might be defined as a population that can continue a reasonable standard of living for the indefinite future using only renewable resources. The question is, what do you think a sustainable population for the United States is, and how do we achieve it?
Yeah, and that's it's certainly not bigger than what we've got.
Can you repeat?
Okay, the question was, how do we get to a sustainable population, and what is it, and say for the United States? And I don't have that magic number, but clearly, we are over the carrying capacity of the planet right now. And, one of the really good solutions out there to the population problem is called reproductive rights for women. Because when women have the ability to determine their family size, we find that magically family size goes way down and it happens rather quickly. And this is important not only for the United States, but it's really important as a component of comprehensive health care and health justice, not only in the United States, but really world over. And if we're going to deal with the issue of population pressure around the world, it's really important to ensure that we are providing actually health care and economic justice and opportunity around the world. That is the way to get to population justice and population sustainability. Thank you so much. Number 2 was, okay.
Yes, my name is David Ledesma. I'm from San Jose, and twice a week, every week for the last 7 years, I just started my 8th year, I do counter recruitment on high school campuses. And it really disturbs me that military recruiters have free rein to really prey on minors in our high schools. What is your opinion about continuing military recruiters to have free rein to prey on children in our high schools to join the military when you discuss the the state of education with the student loan debt and the rising tuition fees and unemployment? So we really have a poverty draft, and you have military recruiters. Can you please share with everybody your feelings about that?
Yeah, exactly. I thank you for your very important work doing counter recruitment in our high schools. The question was, what was my opinion and the stand of my campaign about recruitment in our high schools and about essentially the economic draft. And I think we need to eliminate the economic draft entirely. And that's in the same way that we need to drastically cut back on this military-industrial security complex that is taking away $1 trillion a year of our taxpayer dollars, actually, to pay for that whole thing. And we need to drastically pull back from this militarism, which has taken over our economy and our culture as well, and to turn to a foreign policy that is based on human rights and on international law to really pull back from this militarism. It is not a defense department we're funding, it's really an offense department, and that is not any way towards a sustainable future. We'll be far better off, and the world will be far better off when we are not the purveyor of arms around the world. U.S. arms exports have tripled in the last year alone. This is absolutely criminal that we are the arms merchant, the merchant of war, arming both sides of conflicts around the world and then conscripting our low income and communities of color to go fight these wars because we don't have the money here at home to have a real economy. So it's a great self-serving system if you are part of the military-industrial security complex. That's really all who it serves, and I think, you know, that's what this election is about, is taking back our economy so that it serves us in a way that's peaceful, just, and sustainable for the future. Let's see, who was number 3? You know, we were back there. Go ahead.
So I had actually 2 questions specifically with this campaign and further on. One is your strategy going to be to try and get to swing states and focus there? Because I think the moments that third-party candidates is abused in the New York Times, that's when they really made it. It happened in 2000. And the second thing is, what's going to happen with the Green Party after this election? Because one of the big things, and this is a pointed question, because in 2004, the Green Party pretty much failed a lot of people who were waiting for some momentum to come after that. So what are these?
Great, thanks for bringing that up. And in my view, you know, the answer, there's sort of a similar answer to both those questions. The question was, you know, what is our strategy towards swing states? Are we focusing on some states, not others, as a way to break through in the news? And what are our plans after the election? And, you know, our plans for this campaign are very much to lay the groundwork for what happens after the election. We see this as something that doesn't shut down on November 7th. On November 7th, we just move into the next phase of the campaign. And I'm very honest with people that if you sign on for this campaign, don't expect it to end in 7 weeks. You know, this is part of, you know, we're here for the long haul. I'm here myself after 10 years of building the local Green Party, and it was only after I had a real sense of how to build a state party, plus Barack Obama's announcing a year ago that he was going to dismantle Medicare and Social Security as the answer to the debt ceiling crisis. That's what got me into this campaign. But it was not just to protest. You know, it's not just so that the Green Party, and I got involved to help recruit somebody. You know, I never in my wildest dreams thought I would get recruited, but I did. That's what happens when you join a recruiting committee, you know. So, you know, I felt like it made sense to me. It never had before. I had never been involved in a national level campaign because as Greens, you know, we work on grassroots democracy. We build from the bottom up. And it never made sense to me to run national. But over the past 10 years, we built our state party by running headliner campaigns that changed the public perception and the public profile, and the sense, you know, it raised the bar for so many people for what we should ask from our political parties, and that we deserve a politics that's of, by, and for the people, not these political predators that we come to think of as establishment politics. So it's very much based on that model of how we can energize the grassroots through a headliner campaign and change the public mindset for what we can achieve, and to really light a fire to that, you know, to that incredible desire for a politics of integrity. So we conduct this campaign with very much a mind to growing the Green Party, to bringing in new members, new volunteers, new donors, reviving the state parties that had gone dormant, because we've gone through a very difficult 10 years where we've been the subject of fear campaigns and smear campaigns. But it's really important to remember, people look at the Green Party and say, oh, you kind of dropped the ball. However, when you compare us to what happened to every other non-corporate independent political party, we are the heroes of the day because we did not go away. We lived to fight another day. No other independent political party did.